What's going on, Internet? Cal Shop here, bringing you another live performance. We're going live every day this month, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today, and for the first time ever, we have a special guest. His name is Gerard Adams, and he will be basically hosting this live. He's going to come in and do the split screen with us. He is a leader, a creator, an art collector, and really just an entrepreneur that has put on a lot of amazing talents, giving them a platform to express themselves. He's awesome. He's awesome. So hopefully he'll tune in soon. He's here? All right. Hey, brother. How you doing?
Yo, what's up, Caitlin?
How are you?
So good to see you, bro. Wow. Oh, man, this is amazing, man. This is a beautiful Saturday out here in LA. Yo, I see you, man. I gotta dye my hair back to blue or something.
So
Yo,
I
what's up, everybody? How you
How's
doing?
everybody
Drop some
doing?
hearts.
I just shared like a little bit about you, give you a little intro. Basically, you're going to be hosting the show today, and this is the first time I've had a host on, so that's really amazing. I was just kind of talking about, I love like how you have like this authenticity that you sort of just like you uphold yourself, and then just because you're being real, I think that when you bring other talents on and stuff, like people can be real with you, and so I'm just really honored to share that authenticity here, and I'm excited to, like the direction that the extra flavor you're going to bring into this performance today. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Wow, it's an honor to be here, bro. Like, my whole path, bro, is about helping create leaders. I think more now than ever before, we have this amazing opportunity for all of us to step up and to lead our own lives. And I think, it's not just about just stepping up as leaders, because I love working with entrepreneurs in business and things like that. I mean, I feel like you can be a leader no matter what in life, and tap into this inner artist. So how can everybody tap into really being a leader right now, finding out what they're passionate about, finding out what they want to bring to life, what they want to create in the world? Really just tap into their dream life. This is obviously a really tough time for a lot of us, a lot of people. I know for me, I miss my family. I can't be with them right now. I have friends that are sick. I have people that I've known in my life that have gotten corona and that are fighting right now. And I'm constantly praying for them. But I'm also just, as I'm sending out those prayers, man, I'm diving back into my craft as an artist, as a leader, just creating right now, building relationships. So for me, I just want to take this time, man, to learn from you. I want to learn from you, bro. I want to learn how we can tap into that inner artist and tap into that leader.
Perfect. Yeah, like you said, you said it very well, but like now more than ever, people are having to dive in, and like this time alone, this time in isolation, and away from our our loved ones and stuff. It's like they say social distancing, but it's like physical distancing, yes, but like social, socially, we got to reach out, we got to call people and connect with them, and like just as we're doing now, we can't meet in person. I'm looking forward to when we can meet in person.
Yes.
But yeah, like making these connections and inspiring each other and yeah, just encouraging people to be themselves, because like now
yeah.
It's really important to find that. So hopefully today we can inspire some people and so they can go on their own journey.
Hell yeah. And just to give context to everybody, I hit up Kaylin because I'm a fan, just like you guys probably. I've been collecting art for many, many years. I mean, it's one of the things why I work so hard. I think that a lot of times we think about like in life wanting to make money and wanting to have freedom. But like for me, why do we work hard? And for me, it's to be able to like give back to the people I love, to take care of my family. But one of the big things that I love more than anything is like working hard so that I could be able to create the relationships like this in my life and create experiences in my life. Traveling the world has opened up my eyes, and also to collect art. So I've been collecting art for like, I don't know, I mean, probably over 20 years. I went to art school when I was a kid. And sometimes, you know, we forget like how much that we could tap into that artist, you know, every single day, and bring a little bit of that creativity in our lives every single day, and how that just, you know, I really feel like that brings so much inspiration to the people around us, and fulfillment. So yeah, man, I can't wait to collect one of your pieces.
Oh man, I really appreciate it. It's quite an honor, and yeah, I do really feel that like art really serves a super important role, you know, in emotional strength, you know.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. A lot of my channels is like a lot of people are collecting art for the first time. You know,
Right.
you've been in the game. You know you've have experience and a wealth of knowledge, and it's like a lot of people are, you know, just getting exposed to it. So it's really awesome that we can help, you know, lead people, you know, and they can become leaders, you know, for themselves
Yeah.
as well. Like, you know, because like every time you buy art, like it's sort of it's you're really, I don't know, you're opening the door for yourself as well as an artist. Like they can go buy
Yeah.
more paint, you know. That's
Yeah.
what I do when somebody buys
Well,
my art.
yeah, I mean, one of the things that like that art does is it makes us feel, and ultimately in life, like that's what we're really after, right? We want to feel joy, we want to feel love, we want to feel happiness, we want to feel even, we want to feel the other angles too. Like sometimes people run away from feeling fear or feeling, you know, this polarity. And what I love about your art of like, you can't have light without the dark in life. You can't have the good without the bad. And a lot of people are not, you know, they're forgetting that. Like right now, as much as it's really a tough time, you know, through that tough time that we're having, these challenges, these obstacles, there's this opportunity, right? There's this, you know, there's this opportunity for us to kind of like discover new parts of us, to learn about new parts of us, you know. And you know, I love how your art shares that polarity of both like beautiful colors, but then you'll take something so beautiful and then throw black over it. And I remember watching one of your videos, I'm like, no, what are you doing? I'm like, look, it was perfect. But there's a method there that I want to talk to you more about, because I feel you understand that aspect, and that like plays into life, you know, light and dark, you know, on both sides.
Yeah. It's the human condition. We understand things in polarity. You know, without the darkness, we can't appreciate the light. You know, we always want to keep it positive, and uphold like the, you know, those good values and stuff. But you need tragedy to have love. You need destruction for creation. You know, the list goes on, right? So you know, and I think that's also like the emotional strength, right? To be able to, like, you know, darkness, and so that when you go into the light, that's why it's so much more powerful, right? It's you know, and so now more than ever, you know, we have to celebrate our successes. You know, there's so many losses. So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to blast as many rainbows out there as I can.
Yeah, I love that, bro. And I love how you're also, I want to talk to you more about it after we create, because I can't wait to
Yes.
see what you're creating. But I definitely want to talk to you about all these things, man, about how we can, you know, everybody should be willing to like just be themselves, tap into that inner artist, but then also like how you've dealt with a lot of the haters and shit like that. Because I know I've had that throughout my entire life, and I've been able to just channel that. And I feel like you grow, you like whenever you're doing something different and you're tapping into finally like fully expressing yourself, it always will come with sometimes like it's change. And with change, people don't like change, they fear change. They, when you're doing something unique and doing something different, again, you can't have the good without the bad. Like not everybody's gonna like you. You're gonna have some people that are gonna judge you. So I love how you know, you've talked about that, you've been open about that, you've been open about cyberbullying and going and posting about your haters. And I'm like, damn, I haven't seen anybody who's like owned their truth and is fully just like going at those haters and like just owning it and continue to just do you, like have fun and like spread love, spread light, spread help, giving hope to everybody out there to become more of them, to show more of themselves and be more artists. We need more artists, man. We need to support more artists in the world. And I think I love your message, bro. So can't wait to talk more about that.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I mean, Picasso said it best, you know, like everyone's an artist, like, you know, at birth. And then it's just like, you know, the difficulty is like staying an artist, you know, and a lot of times, you know, society or parenting or whatever, somebody tells you to get a real job and somebody shuts you down, you know, and that's I'm trying to, you know, keep that, you know, keep the flame lit for people that might have gotten shut down, you know. So it's like yeah. So we can get more into it later. We're gonna paint. You know, we're gonna get this going here. We got a canvas on the spinner. We got all the colors ready to go. I'm gonna pass off the camera to Sparkles here. Sparkles, you want to say hi?
What's up, Sparkles?
Hi.
Yo, what's up? Love it.
Okay,
So
so we'll switch the camera to
cool.
forward facing.
All right.
Nice.
Got it.
And so, you know, I think at some point, you know, you're gonna want to maybe tune out, so it's just the art. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, Kaylin, I'll drop. Let's like all like definitely just spread some love in the comments. Let's see Kaylin go to work. Let's see. I can't wait to see what gets created, and then we'll jump back on. And I would love to just interview Kaylin a little bit more. So I'll meet you guys back on here in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Before you go, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Would you just, for the audience, we spoke about it before, but there was a concept, and it was really interesting. You brought it before about the poem, and I think that was, if you could reiterate, because I wanted to kind of consider that as I go into this piece.
Sure.
Could you briefly, you know, speak about that?
No, yeah, of course. So, guys, I had a friend of mine. Her name's Natalie, who read me a poem recently, and she had never read it to anyone. And like, she finally got the courage to read this poem to me that she wrote, and it was called Permiso, Permiso, Permiso. And the whole poem was beautiful, and it talked about, you know, the polarity of, like, for instance, you know, a flower and like a flower in a garden doesn't look at other flowers all around it and compare itself. And the whole concept is about giving yourself permission to fully just love yourself and be yourself, because you're unique in the world. And it was just like giving yourself permission to share your voice, giving yourself permission to, you know, share your perspective, giving yourself permission to express yourself, you know, without fear, giving yourself to just be yourself and share your authentic truth to the world, because you're one of one. So I just thought I wanted to share that with Kaylin, just because I thought it was a really cool concept of permiso. Give yourself permission to fully express yourself to the world.
Perfect. Thank you for that anecdote. So I'm gonna hop back on after the performance. I'm gonna get into it. During this time, it's gonna be silent. There's no music or anything. It might get a little bit awkward, but sit tight. I promise a good show, and to get back on afterwards, we're going to talk about the piece, yeah.
Great, I love it. I'll see you guys soon. Ooh. Oh man. Oh man. Yo. Wow.
Come on in for a closer look here.
Wow. Wow, man. Oh, I think we were all sending some positive vibes. Everybody, how you feeling? Drop those hearts. Oh my God. Wow. Check that. Oh my God. Check that out. That's sick. That's sick. Oh, yo. Oh, that's so sick. Oh man. You see all the freaking, look at the details. Look at all those like colors and just, oh man, look at that on the edge there, that rainbow, man. Just absolutely insane. Oh wow.
Yes, just on the edge, it's like all blacked out, and it's just like just on the periphery.
Man, wow. It's one of those pieces, bro. You know what I love? I love when you can just stare at art for like, after doing something like this, you can just really sit with it. You know, I feel like you gotta like really just like sit and stare at it and like just feel, you know?
Yeah.
How does it?
So should we keep it?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Why how do you usually go about this? Do you usually look at it and then can make some decisions on if you want to like, you know, do any more to it, or do you kind of just, that's it, you kind of let it go and now just accept? I think that's what's so powerful about an artist, right? It's like you have to let go, you have to surrender. It's like this beautiful opportunity to just learn how to surrender and let go to it. How do you go about that?
Ooh, good question. Good question. There's like, if I'm trying to serve a purpose for myself or serve a purpose for the viewer. If it's for the viewer, I can sort of pause my thoughts. So sometimes I'm creating to figure out my own self, you know, my own emotions. And sometimes I'm doing it, it's like a selfless act. I'm trying to, you know, it's for somebody else. And it's like, matters less what I think, you know, it's, you know, that's why I like to pose the question, what do you think? You know, like I got to check my, you know, my first instinct, it's like the reflexive no, like, right. It's like immediately I'm like, no, I got to destroy this.
Oh, wow.
You know, but that's with everything, right? That's like, you know, before you decide to do anything, you're like, I'm not going to do this. And then you decide what you're, you know, or else you just do everything. Right. So it's like, that's normal for normal life. So, but like, it's, I don't know. Like, it's like, you know what, the first thing you said was that you got to sit with it and take time. I think this is one of those slow burners, you know, like immediately I was like, I mean, you saw me load the trough, right? And the trough was like full of all these colors.
Yeah.
And then I took that away, and now, and not seeing them on the canvas, I'm like, I don't know why I'm still surprised, but like,
yeah,
it's
I
kind of
love
brutal.
it. I love it because I mean, I think it kind of, it shows that that polarity, you know, and you know, what's really interesting about this piece is that the edge, right? First of all, there's like this very calmness about underneath. This like really like you feel calm looking at it. I remember when you first did the first part of it with that baby blue and the pink, and you know, people were commenting and they were saying like, oh wow, it's like it reminded them of birds like in a sky and like very tranquil, you know, tranquility.
Yeah.
And then you have that like that wave, and on that wave, what's so interesting is it has that like wave of the black, but like it's like almost you can tell that right behind that, even as it's turning and around it, is like this rainbow of colors, and I just think that that's
Just like, yeah, like on the edge where it's like folding over, you can see it like coming out like these areas, you know, there's like, it's, you know, and that's, and I was going to go with something more colorful, but after our discussion, I was like, you know what, I think I have to really drive this point home with like, you know, just the darkness and the light, like it's two-sided. On the other side of this, you saw me load the trough, it's full of color, but it's all, like, you know, like that's emotion, and we have to be gentle with each other and ourselves, because that's, you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, playing into like being an artist, bro, for everyone that's like watching that, you know, is that we all go through that, right? We all have those sides of us that we're mastering. I think within emotional intelligence and understanding that, like, one thing that I read in a book that we all go through as human beings, like, we've all gone through our own struggles, our own suffering, our own type of pain. Like, each one of us, like, God has given us, you know, these different challenges in our lives. Like, right now we're in one with this, like, quarantine, and we're all facing together. You know, but I'm just curious, like, how have you gone through life, even enduring your hardships, and been able to get through some of those hardships to get to see the light, to be able to see the colors, and to, you know, to find yourself and to be able to share your truth?
Yeah, I mean, you have to sort of, like, the universe made us unique, and it's like by embracing your uniqueness and squashing, like, you know, overcoming your doubt, the universe, I feel like, is like rewards you. It's like it made you unique, and then it wants to honor you and being like, oh, like, you've embraced this, and now I embrace you. You know, a lot of aspects of society and you know, upbringing, stuff like that are about conformity, and it's like that's not the path of the artist. That's not the creative path. And I think we're, you know, like I said before, we're all artists, so it's like giving yourself, like, the self-love and, like, the benefit of the doubt, like give yourself the time to create the space to, like, you know, be gentle with yourself. Like, we're just, you know, there's this body, there's this, you know, behind that there's the soul, and this body's just working its ass off to, like, perform for us. So it's just like just giving yourself the gift of time and care and love, and surrounding yourself with the people that emulate that as well. There's of course there's the personal part, you know, and that's a big part, but also just like your surroundings. You know, there's so much negativity out there, and it's not necessarily negativity, but just not like encouragement. You need to be in an encouraging space, and so, like, surrounding yourself, like, creating that safe space for yourself.
Yeah. Hey guys, comment any questions you have that you would like me to ask Kaylin. We'll probably do questions for, like, just a little bit, and then Kaylin, you down with giving me a little bit of a tour? Let that one dry a little bit, and kind of seeing some of the art, or maybe, you know, I would love to, you know, to vibe and see some of your fans said that you call this studio the arena.
Yeah, for sure. While people are queuing up their questions,
okay,
I'm gonna hop up on the ladder here and just gonna give a view of the arena.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna climb up here, and we'll just see. So here's, like, basically all of the, like, the colors, and then I've, like, constructed this, you know, painting zone. The painting's in the center there. I got overhead camera that's recording as well, and then there's, like, the machine that I built, which is, like, you know, the bicycle, you know, apparatus, and yeah. So this is what I call the arena, and it's like, you know, it's a little bit of a fight that goes down inside there, right? So, and then
yeah, for sure.
And then also, like, you know, one of the comments you talk about, like, wasting and stuff like that. Like, so there's a canvas, you know, and like on the floor, and then on the walls, we've been keeping these canvases as well, like, to capture the overspray. You know, so, and there's just, like, you know, this is just a few of my creations up on the wall there. You know, the paint zone is kind of over there, and then we have the photography zone. It's kind of over there. I just shot those little ones the other day. There's this massive piece of fusion there, and but yeah. So that's a little bit of an overview.
So how do you stay inspired? I mean, obviously, this is so much inspiration constantly around you, within the alley, within your work. But what are some things that you do, just maybe for fun outside, or, like, what are ways that you kind of stay inspired every day?
Great question. And I'd like to preface this answer by saying that I'm not inspired every day, and that's okay. And I think that, you know, but what I do, like, do to stay inspired is I'll create regardless of inspiration. You know, like, there's inspiration is a gift, and if it comes into the arena here, then amazing. But if I'm not in the arena, it could come by, and I won't be here, and it'll pass by. So I have to just be present and go and put in the work and create the conditions for inspiration to come upon, to float by. You know, other than, like that, that's like just work, like, it's like create your own luck sort of concept, right? Like,
Right.
if I'm putting in the work, then inspiration like could hit, because it doesn't take a lot for me to get inspired. I can get inspired by seeing the sunset, or driving on the highway, and or eating a delicious meal, or like it could be anything could just hit me, and it's just about just staying covered in paint and staying active. It's okay to destroy, like if I make something, destroy something, that's okay too. And so I share that as well. And sometimes that is a very, good space to just like create something, no attachment, destroy it right after. And that can be hugely liberating and give you space to then make the next jump. Because if you have all this pent up energy, be like, oh, this is my masterpiece. Well, that's a lot of pressure, So I just take that away.
That's awesome. What are some things that you've had to overcome, bro, like on your journey as an artist? Like, were there any particular insecurities or fears that you had to like get through in order for you to have this? Like, one of the things I love about you, bro, is just like you're just so raw, you're so real, you're super in tune with yourself and your soul, and like it's pretty awesome, man. Like just talking to you when we had our phone conversation. I have a lot of respect for your mindset, and I'm just curious, like, was it always that way? Did you grow up that way? Like, at what point did you have your like a breakthrough moment where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna stop caring what other people think, and I'm gonna just fully just go all in on Kalen?
Okay, sorry, I had to put my phone down, so there's a little bit. That's not even a good spot there. Could you hold it?
Hi.
Hi.
So good to see you.
Okay. So, could you reiterate the question? I was just
Yeah. So, like, I mean, at what point in your life did you finally like let go of your own insecurities and your own fear and the things that might have potentially held you back? And like, did you have like an aha moment in your life where you finally let go and just became free and like understood to not have attachment and to just fully go all in at expressing yourself and letting just, those aspects of you?
Yeah. So I still struggle with that on a day-to-day basis. I don't think that I'm fully free. Like there was a turning point where for my own mental health, I had to go all in, and I sort of have like an extreme sort of personality. So it wasn't like I can do my day job and then just like do art like in the other hours of the day, and like that's good enough. It was like I needed to go all in with the art, and that was a huge turning point when I like just shut down every aspect of my life and just went to the studio and started painting. Without a goal. Like, it wasn't like I'm gonna become a successful artist, I'm gonna sell my art. It's just like I need to create, and that was the focus. Now I try to sort of balance the business and everything, and that can be a little bit of a trick. But the initial like that aha moment, like that eureka, was sort of just like, forget about everything else. For my own safety, like my own mental safety, I need to give myself the gift of time and just explore like colors and motion and do what I do, which I've now honed for the last 10 years. But I needed to take the jump and the leap. No parachute, just jump out the airplane. And the parachute, it initially was like, my family. Like, like they were like the people that bought my first paintings and stuff like that. And now it's like that parachute's getting bigger and bigger. It's just like, friends and friends and friends, and we've connected, and it's like all these other people, and the parachute is the other jumpers. Like the other people that have jumped, like they all kind of hold hands and like
Yeah. I love it. So I got a question here from Fizz, one of the fans. Guys, keep dropping your questions. I love it. But he said, you talked about uniqueness, and he asked, like, how do you figure out that unique attribute about oneself? Do you have any advice there?
Yeah, well, for me, because I discovered this in school, and I just literally looked around the room, and I saw that everyone was painting with a paintbrush, and it was clear to me that like, you know, they refer to it as like the white space, you know, but the white space was like, you know, just don't use a paintbrush. And I'm like, what can I do without a paintbrush? And that's when I got like a potter's wheel and began to spin it. You know, so that's like I really just stumbled upon this, and then I just like ran with it, and I've been going with it. What your unique thing is, I don't know like what the you know, there's no like tried and true method to figure that out, but you know, just I don't have like a clear answer on how to discover that for yourself, and so I'm not going to make up a bullshit answer. So
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I think that like what I would say is, I mean, even what you said is an answer. So it's like, how can you just start to think differently? And I think one of the biggest things that I've done, I mean, that's really great about this quarantine is like disconnect from like looking at what everybody else is doing, and like actually, you know, just take some time to, you know, to really spend some time with yourself. Like just start to, whether it's write, whether it's paint, you know, whatever it is that you're passionate about, that you just love to do, that gives you energy, like just do more of that and just spend more time. And like, I feel like, you know, people will look at your painting. A lot of times we'll look at Kaylin's painting and they may be like, well, how the hell are you going to charge thousands of dollars for this? You just did it in front of us and you did it in 15 minutes. Like how all of a sudden now you went from this white thing to now charging thousands of dollars. But the thing is, if you just heard him, he said it's been 10 years of him mastering his craft. So the thing to understand is that it's not going to happen overnight. There's not like a method like he talked about that's going to give you your uniqueness. It's about finding what you actually are passionate about, that you're like that thing that Kaylin talked about, where you have to go all in on, and it's scary. But by doing that, it forces you, that pressure forces you to practice it. And then over the long term, you will find it. It will show itself and reveal itself to you. And then that same painting that we saw take 15 minutes, took 10 years, can now be worth thousands of dollars.
yeah, yeah. It's like, you know, if your dentist, like, you know, takes your tooth out in like a small amount of time and you're out of there like good and quick, you're not like, oh, like, you know, I want him to take longer. I'm not taking out my tooth, you know? Like if you put it in a different profession, you know, all of a sudden people appreciate the small amount of time. But because it's art, there's this idea about this sort of enslaved mindset of like punished artists, like Van Gogh, like no one ever bought his art, he cut off his ear, you know, he's this tortured soul, and only after death do you get recognition. Well, that was a long time ago. We moved past that. Let's honor people's success and honor ourselves, you know, in our own time. Like now is the moment.
I call it living your legacy. You know, people talk about like, but it's like you can live your legacy right now, and we can honor you as you're creating this legacy right now, real time. And it's like we should celebrate you right now. Yeah, bro.
Man, I really appreciate that. And no, and you brought up like the quarantine and like the time off, and even before this, you know, pandemic happened, I took like a sort of a social media break for like a month, and that was huge. And so I think it's really important. Like now, more than ever, but like, you know, taking time, like not comparing yourself to others. So it's so easy on social media. There's so much stimulus. There's so much out there. You know, just your passion and you just let that like run that for some time without external influences, you know, and see how that goes. And you know, because it's so easy to just put up comparisons, and we're doing it all the time. That's So that's a good point that you brought up.
Do you believe that artists need to learn how to become entrepreneurs?
I believe that there's unprecedented opportunity right now with social media, that if you can take advantage of it, and it's part of your DNA, that yes, but it's not for everybody. For example, if you're an artist and you are not like do not enjoy social media, then the traditional model of like having a representative speak on your behalf, like a gallery or an agent, and you just go to the studio, you produce the magic, and you don't have to do like the posting and the, you know, the trending and the hashtags, like whatever, all of that, and entrepreneurial like you know, pounding the pavement. there's, you know, you don't have to do that, but there's a huge opportunity there. I like the idea that I have control of my own destiny.
Yeah.
And I can leverage, you know, this free platform. I think that's amazing, and so I've taken with like I've just kind of like tried to use social media as you know, an entrepreneurial direction as much as I can. But it's not for everybody, and there's other ways of doing it. But make sure if you are going the other route that your gallery, your agent, or whatever knows what they're doing.
Right. True that. True that. What's been like the happiest moment so far on this journey? I mean, I love, guys, if you're a fan of Kalen, like drop a heart for Kalen, and you know, just like his journey. He's been at this now for over 10 years. What's been like the happiest moment for you? Like a real moment of fulfillment or joy that you remembered? Like right now, I feel like it's crazy, the social media growth. TikTok, Instagram has really helped you get seen. You're using it to help so much of the next generation, inspire young artists I see on TikTok. But what's been like a moment, like one moment in particular where like it really hit you, that like you're living your legacy?
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, it's hard for me to like, because when I paint, I'm trying to be so present, and like, so this is the moment right now. So I just want to acknowledge that before I pull up another moment. But like,
thanks, bro.
Huge. So thank you. But in addition to that, like, I've had, you know, because I've exposed the like this vulnerability, and like I put myself out there even when I'm uncomfortable. I try to just be as authentic as I can, and then people connect with that, and they see that darkness, like that, and the light, and that whole conversation that we brought up. And there's been one or two instances where people, I'm not going to name any names, but they've said that they've like, my art has inspired them to stay here with us. In this
Stay alive.
Yeah, and what has done it for them is they've found their own passion again. You know, to do what they had once forgotten, and so that's happened to me. Like that's happened for them, and they share that with me, and that's only the people that share. And so this is a little bit of a presumption, but I would presume that, you know, there's other people that haven't shared that are out there. And so that's why that's a huge inspiration for me to think that I can help people come out of the dark and stay with us here for this time.
Yeah, I love that, bro. I mean, that's the best part about, you know, when I started Create Leaders 5 years ago, and I started building my brand, it was never about followers or fame. It was like when people would send me a letter or even a DM or stop me in the streets and say, hey, you inspired and changed my life to actually go all in on myself. So I relate to that, man. It's the best thing in the world. And every single one of you has an opportunity to lead a life that helps people and that changes people. But it just starts with you first. And, you know, the 2 rules to leadership is that it's bigger than you. It has nothing to do with you. It's about others. And the second rule is it's all about you. You got to take care of yourself. It's those 2 things always. So what are some tips that you have, Kalen, for someone that wants to brand themselves? You've been like conquering TikTok. You've been blowing up on Insta. There's obviously a few things there. You've talked about authenticity, vulnerability. What are some things that, you know, you feel if someone wants to brand themselves on social? What have you learned?
I mean, one big thing is like consumption. You're already doing it, but like, you know, just watching what other people are doing and being like your due diligence, like doing your homework when consuming. It's, you know, everyone's doing the work for you. You could just literally copy other people's ideas. Not to say that, but like, you know, just if something works, you know, that somebody else has done, chances are it'll work for you. Once something works, you got more likes on a post, or wow, this one got you know, a lot of engagement, or whatever it is that you know, excites you with that one success. Just repeat that. You know, was it a video? Well, do more video. Was it a picture of you beside your art? Well, you know, post more pictures of you beside your art. You know,
right.
It's a like vastly overlooked thing in business, but just like whatever worked, just repeat it. And it's simple, so that's why I bring it up, so it might stick. But that's one. And then just, there's a lot of different social media channels, like you mentioned TikTok, like, there's Instagram, there's, Twitch, there's, there's Snapchat, they're all different universes. So you sort of have to like immerse yourself in them all and see what works for yourself, and then just forget about like all of them except for like 3 or 2, and then go all in on those, and like improve your technology, like some basic stuff, but just like, take good photos, good lighting, like, not a shaky cam, just invest a little bit in like your production. And if you can't do it, get somebody else to do it. You don't have to do everything on your own, like there's going to be a friend of yours or somebody, incessantly talk about like where you're going to your audience. Just like open up the dialogue rather than just having this like finished product type mentality of like a portfolio. No, just camera with where you're going, what you want to do, why you can't get there, or share success. It doesn't have to be all this, negative stuff. It just be share success, or just talk to the camera. And if you can't talk to the camera, do a voiceover or put it in text, but share. Like really share, not just share like your hero moments, but all the little stuff too. But there's a bunch of stuff there, but yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. And you're doing that so much, so authentically. And it's like, do what work, experiment, right? Create. That's the whole thing. Yeah. Create, experiment, test them, and things work. Go more all in on those things and find the platform that works for you, whether it's video, whether it's voice, maybe a podcast, maybe it's, like he said, narrating. Find what works for you. And now's the time to experiment and create. Last question, Carolyn, is like, how passionate I am about leadership.
Yes.
I just want to know, to you, what makes a leader? Like, how do you, what does it mean to be a leader to you? And then what would be some last piece of advice that you would give someone watching right now for them to tap into the leader within themselves and the inner artist that they have inside their heart?
Yeah. So I think we talked about something similar. You talk about leader, and I kind of use the word hero. So
okay.
So I try to be like like people ask, who's your favorite artist? And I sort of like have this pompous answer, and I'm like, oh, I'm my favorite artist.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, screw this guy, and then they never talk to me again. But if I unpackage that a little bit, like that idea of the artist is like the idea of myself is not just like this form. It's like it's an idealized version. Like be your own idol. Like like, look up, if you can look up to yourself. That's kind of the way I live my life. Like what would the person that I looked up to do? Like, would he go to the studio every day? Would he be painting? Would he always be wet with paint? Like, yes, that's what would be inspiring for me. So like, even when I'm not feeling it that day, I still will go to the studio, and do that because I'm trying to uphold the idea of this kind of the Uber man or whatever, like the Superman, right? It's a little bit silly, but that's sort of like be the example that you would like to look up to. Sort of power is sort of the leadership kind of role, and like a piece of advice. Like, can I have a little bit of direction with a piece of advice? Like, one thing we forgot, like with social media, don't forget to have fun. We said all these other things.
Yeah.
That's really, really important. Life is a wild ride, and you got to enjoy the process. I'm all about the process, and if you're focused on the goal and the end result, just like the painting, then you miss a big part. And the journey is all like that's where the stories come from, and that's why we're talking right now. We're not talking because I have a finished result beside me. We're talking because the journey. The same with you, same with everybody. It's the stories that are told, right? So make them good stories,
Wow, that's so good, man. I love it. I think that's it. All of us should think about the journey and how these are all like chapters in our book of life, right? Like we're all living this life, and it's like our own little book, and it's just, you know, enjoy, go out there and experience life and create your story and share your story and do it and have fun. Like life is meant to be full of fun and joy. And yes, it's not perfect. And you know what? Own that. Own your like what you go through in life. And like that's what makes you human. That's what makes you special, unique. That in itself is what makes you unique, is your own perspective, your own opinions, your own you know, experiences in life, and go and create and share that with the world, regardless of what people think. And Kaylin, I really appreciate the way that you're leading, man. I really love so much your message, how much you're inspiring the youth, inspiring artists. You're letting people in. You know, some artists, they only want to show their end product. You're letting people in. And I think that's what's so great about, you know, leaders that are building brands today, the great ones, is they're showing people behind the scenes, like full transparency. Like, here's my truth. Here, you know, I may not be liked, but here's my truth. Here's behind the scenes. Here's my process, you know, because at the end of the day, we don't own anything anyways, right? We're going to leave it behind. Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to get some of your pieces in the wall. Can't wait to meet and be with you in the studio if you're willing, and hang out with you and build our friendship, bro. So thanks for letting me on your Insta, bro. Keep doing it, man. Keep creating.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're hugely inspiring. I love your direction, and thank you for you know, giving me like a platform to speak to your audience, and just shedding a little bit more light on some of the concepts, you know, that I have trouble articulating. You know, like you've helped, like, you know, me like express myself, like, you know. So
Wow.
so thank you. And yeah, we'll finish off with one more look at the piece here.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Gerard.
I love it. Hell yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to see it too. Like when you take like your shots and you really get to see those colors. So I can't wait to see it, bro. But beautiful, man.
Beautiful. I love it. All right. Peace out. Thank you so much.
Peace, Kevin. Peace, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye, Sparkles.
Ciao.
Bye.